Have you ever lost something that was so precious and you couldn't get it back? No matter what you did, it was gone forever. And that pain from that loss caused you to do something that you wouldn't normally do. Caused you to hurt someone else. Because of that pain, there's a story in the Bible, and it's in 1 Kings 3:16. The one woman said, "Oh my Lord, this woman and I live in the same house, and I gave birth to a child while she was still in the house. Then on the third day after I gave birth, this woman also gave birth, and we were alone. There was no one else with us in the house. It was only the two of us. And this woman's son died in the night because she laid on him. And she arose at midnight and took my son from beside me while your servant slept. And she laid him at her breast, and she laid my dead son at my breast. When I rose in the morning to nurse my child, behold, he was dead. He was not my child. He was not the child I gave birth to." But the other woman said, "No, the living child is mine, and the dead one is yours." The first said, "No, the dead child is yours, and the living child is mine." Then the king said, "The one says, 'This is my son that is alive, and yours is dead.' And the other says, 'No, but your son is dead, and my son is the living one.' And the king said, 'Bring me a sword.' A sword was brought before the king. And the king said, 'Divide the living child in two, and give half to the one, and the other half to the other.' Then the woman whose son was alive said to the king, because her heart yearned for her son, 'Oh my lord, give her the living child, and by no means put him to death.' But the other said, 'He shall neither be mine or yours. Divide him.' Then the king answered and said, 'Give the living child to the first woman, and by no means put him to death. She is his mother." In these passages in the Bible, King Solomon is commended for his wisdom that God gave him, and he used it. There's no doubt that he used wisdom, as the true mother wouldn't want her son to be killed. She'd rather have him alive and not with her than hurt and killed. But I want to ask the question, why would the other mother who lost a child, why would she be okay with killing the child? She lost something that was precious to her. She was in pain, no doubt. My niece, her name was Kinsley Hope. She went into the arms of Jesus at just 5.5 months old. She would have been my youngest daughter's age, who's 20. They were only a couple weeks apart. I will never forget the cry of her mom holding her when there was no longer life left inside of her little body. I will never forget what that sounded like, ever, and the pain she felt from that loss. I remember hearing her say, "I just want my baby. I want to hold my baby." That's pain. That's loss. That's what caused that woman to do that. She was hurting. Did she want the other woman's baby to die? No. She didn't want hers to die either. That is pain from a hurting and bitter heart. I don't have a baby, so why should you have your baby? If you were to search deep down in that woman's heart, you would see a hurting woman who lost something precious to her. What have you lost that's precious to you? I lost a marriage. I'm not comparing the death of a marriage to a death of a child, believe me. But what I lost that was precious to me was my 20-year marriage. I did not want my marriage to end. I prayed for it to be healed and to be restored, and that didn't happen. There were things that happened that were unfair and hurt me so deeply. Not that I was perfect in everything. There's definitely things I could have done differently, and God showed me those things. But I had a choice that day when He began to walk out of my life. I had a choice to sit there in my pain and let the roots of bitterness grow in my heart. I had a choice to take God's hand and let Him take me on a journey of healing and forgiveness that I am so thankful for. I would not be in the middle of the blessings that I'm in if I didn't choose to take His hand that day. If I didn't choose forgiveness over bitterness. There are things that happen because we live in this broken world that God cannot stop. He cannot take somebody else's free will. There are bad things that happen in this world. There is death, there is divorce. Satan has control in this world, but God is with us if we turn our hearts to Him and take His hand and let Him heal us. You don't have to stay in your brokenness. God says in His word, He heals the brokenhearted and He binds up their wounds. He can heal you. He knows you. He created you. This book, The Journey Home, is the testimony of my healing journey that God took me on.